Hello my lovelies, it is time for round 16 of Have I Read It? So stay tuned. Okay, so I have my wireless earbuds here. I'm being forced to use these instead of my regular earbuds because Sandra has made my regular ones disappear once again. So we're using this and hopefully I can fix any delays there might be in editing. Fingers crossed. Today we are going to react to my November 2017 book outlet haul. And from what I can tell, you can only see just a tiny bit in the picture. It looks as though it's not going to be that bad. I was so excited to get started with this that I totally forgot to explain how it works, at least in the beginning. After I pick the first book that I haven't read, I do go into explaining how you vote and all of that. So just keep watching. Like, maybe it's just one box, so we'll see. That's all I can see in the picture, so there could be a lot in that one box though. I can't tell how big the box is or anything. But I have the video pulled up and I mean, it can't be nearly as bad as the last round because that was really bad. I think I read barely anything at all in the haul that I did in my last round of Have I Read It? So this has to be better than that. All right, well, let's get started. Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I've got a book outlet haul, so stay tuned. Okay, that looks like a small box and just one. Okay, so I went ahead and cut this open and I'm dying to dig inside. I always love when I get these boxes. I'm shaking the camera like crazy. Can't stop ordering from Book Outlet now that I have found this place. I love it. So let's pull out. It's a lot of paper. A lot of paper. Ooh, ah. Okay, so the first book in my Book Outlet haul is Lady Windermere's Lover. I don't think I've read that. Do I even have that still? Hold on. Okay, I do still own it. Hold on. Okay, here it is. And apparently this is the third book in the, what series? The Wild Quartet series. It's a 4-book series centered around a group of badly behaved late Gregorian art collectors. 4 Oxford friends got into mischief and wrought havoc. Then everything fell apart. Find out what happens 10 years later. And the first book in that is The Importance of Being Wicked. I don't own the first 2 books. This is book 3. And The Duke of Dark Desires is book 4. And to be honest, I don't know if I want to read this. I don't know, maybe it's okay. From what I gather, these look like they can be read as standalones, and I have found since purchasing this that I'm not really one for historical romance. I usually find it silly and it just kind of lacks for me. So I don't know. So if you are interested in me reading this book, please just put the title in the comments, Lady Windermere's Lover. You don't need to write the author's name. I'm only going to search for the title. And though I forgot to mention this before, you get to choose which book I read. You will vote on, you can vote for more than one book, but I'm only going to select one from this particular video, and I will announce what the winner is in my Wheel of TBR that I do at the end of the month. And I will also let you know in my Wheel of TBR how I did with reading last month's selections from the Have I Read It. But you get to vote put the title of the book in the comments, and the book that gets the most votes will be the one that I select. So there's that one. I don't think it's ever off to a good start when the very first book is one I haven't read. But this is a small box, so I have high hopes that it's not gonna be too bad. Also, I'm looking behind me and my shelves are so bare, whereas my shelves right now are overflowing. All right, let's continue on. Okay, next we have The Fairy Path by Freywin Jones. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I can't remember if I read the first book in this series or not. No, it doesn't look like I did. So let me grab that. Okay, here we go. The Fairy Path. This says, Anita was living an ordinary life until an elegant stranger pulled her into another world. And it says, swept away into a court of magic and beauty, she discovers she is Tania, the lost princess of Fairy. Very floppy paperback too. Okay, so The Fairy Path, if you want me to read this one. And what else do we have? Okay, next we have The Ingredients of Love by Nicholas Leroux. I don't think that I have read that. I've had it on my TBR before, but I can't remember if I've actually read it. Hold on. Okay, so I have read it and I unhauled it. It looks like I gave it 3 stars. So there we go. All right, next up. Okay, so the next book on my list is Slide by Jill Hathaway. I haven't read that either. Okay, so as I said in the clip there, it's a rather small book. It's like 250 pages. And it says, she sees through the eyes of a killer. So if you want me to read this, vote Slide. We're literally like a third of the way through this video. Yeah. All right, next up. Next we have Here by Robin Epstein. Okay, so my ratio is not very good with this one either. But at least there's not a whole lot of books in here. I haven't read that one. Let me go get it. Okay, this is another semi-short one. Again, about 250 pages. It says, when her acceptance to Columbia is revoked just weeks before graduation, Cassandra Black is desperate. She hastily enrolls in the summer program at Henley University under the watchful eye of her great-uncle Brian. She figures successfully assisting him in his HEAR program, Henley Engineering Anomalies Research, will get her into college somewhere. As Cass gets to know the 4 other HEAR students, she realizes that she overlooked the anomalies part of the acronym. They've all been recruited to help Brian run experiments that gauge extrasensory perception, including, to her astonishment, Cass herself. But Cass would know if she were psychic, right? So if you want me to read this, here. All right, next up. So the next book in my list is Pretty Dead by Francesca Leah Block. I have read that one and I really, really liked it. Okay, so the next book in my list is Don't You Forget About Me by Katie Karras Quinn. I have not read that one. This one says, welcome to Gardnerville, a place where no one gets sick and no one ever dies of natural causes. But there's a price to pay for paradise. Every 4 years, the strange power that fuels the town takes its toll and a teenager commits a horrible crime. A crime that sends other teens to their graves. And every 4 years, the killer is locked up in the reformatory, only to emerge years later, a shell of their former self. Interesting. So if you want me to read this, Don't You Forget About Me. All right, next up. Okay, the next book in here is Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. Okay, I know I haven't read that, but I'm not sure if that's the first book in the series or not, so I have to look that up. It is, so let me go find that. This is such a floppy paperback. Oh my goodness. This says, worlds collide, magic reigns, love burns. This world is trying to kill Lily Proctor. Her life-threatening allergies make it increasingly difficult to live a normal life, and after a completely humiliating incident ruins her first and perhaps only real party, she's ready to disappear. All right. Oh, that's so much fun. It says it combines the best elements of a magical fantasy with hints of sci-fi, history, and romance. So if you want me to read this, vote Trial by Fire. All right, I think, yeah, we're like well over halfway. This one's going by so fast. The other one seemed to take forever, but then again, there were like 68 books or something like that to go through. All right, next up. Okay, next is Death Sworn by Leah Cypress. I have not read that. And again, I'm not sure if that's a first in a series or not, so I'm going to check. Okay, it is. It's the first in the Death Sworn series. Let me grab it. Let's see. This says, Eileni is losing her magic, and that means losing everything she's ever known. Exiled to teach sorcery to assassins hidden deep within the mountains, she expects no one will ever hear from her again. The two previous tutors are dead, and the elders deemed her expendable. Yet, as Eileni unravels the mystery surrounding her predecessors' deaths, she'll uncover threatening secrets that have been kept for decades. So if you want me to read this, vote Death Sworn. Okay, I can't tell how many we have left because I can't see in the box. Next. Okay, next we have the biggest book in this haul, and it is Deception by C.J. Redwine, author of Defiance. Okay, I don't think this is the first in the series. I'm thinking Defiance is, but I'm gonna check. Yes, I was correct. Defiance is the first book in this series, and I haven't read either of them, so let me go grab that. I actually own the third book for this as well, which I think is Deliverance. This says, Rachel Adams has a secret. While other girls in Balboden sew dresses and obey their male protectors, Rachel knows how to survive in the wilderness and wield a sword. When her father Jared fails to return from a courier mission and is declared dead, the city's brutal commander assigns Rachel a new protector, her father's apprentice, Logan, the boy Rachel declared her love for 2 years ago, and the one who handed her heart right back to her. Left with only a fierce belief in her father's survival, Rachel decides to find him herself, but what awaits her in the wasteland could destroy her. So if you want me to read this, vote Defiance. And I think we're getting close to the end because there's not much left in this haul video. Just a couple minutes left, so let's see what else we got. Okay, and then the last book in this haul is Both of Me by Jonathan Friesen. Okay, so this is the last book, and I've not read it. Hold on. All right, we got another book that's around 250 pages. It's like 251. This says, 2 lives, 2 worlds, the cracks are beginning to show. It was supposed to be just another flight, another escape into a foreign place where she could forget her past, forget her attachments, until Clara found herself seated next to an alluring boy named Elias Finn, a boy who seemed to know secrets she has barely been able to admit to herself for years. When her carry-on bag is accidentally switched with Elias's identical pack, Clara uses the luggage tag to track down her things. At that address, she discovers there is not one Elias Finn, but 2. The odd, paranoid, artistic, and often angry Elias she met on the plane, who lives in an imaginary world of his own making called Salem, and the kind, sweet, and soon irresistible Elias who greets her at the door, and who has no recollection of ever meeting Clara at all. As she learns of Elias's dissociative identity disorder and finds herself quickly entangled in both Elias's lives, Clara makes a decision that could change all of them forever. She's going to find out what the Salem Elias knows about her past and how, even if it means playing along with his otherworldly quest. and she is going to find a way to keep the gentle Elias she's beginning to love from ever disappearing again. And this also sounds really, really interesting, and it sounds like it's going to be very emotional as well. So if you want me to read this one, vote both of me. Okay, so there are significantly less to select from this time around versus the last round, which you still have time to vote on if you want to go and watch that one. It was something. It was crazy. But yes, vote on whichever one of these you want me to read, and I will also include it in my TBR for this month. And I will announce which book won for both this video and the last one in my Wheel of TBR. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!